Everybody, clearing. So this is going to be my Lionsgate portal reading. We're going to dive right in and check out the energies that are most affecting the Divine Feminine Collective. So thank you, Divine Creator, for showing us what is the most essential energy. Ooh, we got a whole bunch for the Divine Feminine Collective. The first one, subconscious awareness and Akashic information. So there, I'm hearing ain't no valley low enough, ain't no mountain high. I don't know, I butchered that, I'm sure. I'm so sorry, but that's what I'm getting. You know, the subconscious is the depths of the depths. And the Akashic is literally the solution from every lifetime, past, present, and future, that can be accessed in the full spectrum of mastery. So if you think about it, there isn't any reaches of the universe that cannot be accessed, Divine Feminine. You have it all within you. Metatron is coming to mind right now, but please understand, Divine Feminines, you are as vast. I'm seeing you as those cosmic portals of awesome. The womb chakra, the womb portal coming in. The feminine is the high priestess that brings things through from behind the veil. And that includes every bit of the subconscious and every bit of the Akashic remembrance or access that you can remember to allow, really, because it is through consciousness that you can connect with any of this by asking. Temple of the Moon Goddess, Divine Feminine energy. So emotional transparency, nurturance, and grace. This is absolutely stunning energy because this is the birth, death, rebirth cycle. This is the flow with all of that, and the fearlessness that provides for this type of selfless nurture, the ease and grace to navigate anything from any dimension that shows up, and the emotional transparency to speak from that place of solidity of that awareness, and the great elation, reconfigurations, cycles, and gratitude. So give thanks this Lionsgate, because that is the frequency, the highest frequency on the earth plane, and that is what will magnetize all of the things meant for you to come in, Divine Feminines. That attitude is everything. And for the Divine Masculines, what can we see? What are the essential frequencies the Divine Masculines are accessing? Okay, we get 2. Chamber of Imagination, Whimsy, Fantasy, and Wonder. So this is the playfulness. I'm feeling the masculines having an opportunity to be free from the logical, analytical, 3D mind and become untethered. Some sort of flight of fancy. And I just heard you are in the midst of it, Divine Feminine. And Arcturian Stargate, peace, healing, gentleness, and non-judgment. We just saw a few readings ago for the Divine Masculines this peace that passes all understanding, that the Divine Feminine represents this level of peace in the heart of hearts for the Divine Masculine. So I'm very much feeling that there is an opportunity here for the Divine Masculines to very much transcend the limitations of the earthly plane and dare to dream. From a place of peace, not a place of manic energy. Okay, let's get into the reading. So I'm going to do Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine cards. What are each thinking? What are each feeling? Let's start with the Divine Feminines. So what are the Divine Feminines thinking about the connection right now? What are the Divine Feminines feeling on the heart space for their Divine Masculines? What are they wishing for the connection? What actions are being taken towards union, directly or inadvertently? What is the biggest challenge? What is the solution? And where are things going from the feminine energy? Okay, what are they thinking? Daughter of Wands and Knight of Cups in the reverse. This is the spiritual seeker. So I'm hearing devotion, divine feminines. Many of you are doing ceremonies, rituals, manifestation ceremonies, setting intentions, really utilizing this Lionsgate portal for conscious manifestation. This could be sexual manifestation, a few things. But the Knight of Cups in the reverse is about self-love. So feminines, you're really understanding that self-love plays a pivotal role in this aliveness, the spark. The wands are about that inspiration within. We don't get that from anywhere else. So there is this individuation energy for the divine feminines where I'm just feeling that there's a recognition of a new level of potential in these connections, but a very individual pursuit right now. And for many, there's a sharp realization that the masculine is not more closely in the 3D. And so this is, it could be a little bittersweet, but at the same time, if it is, that is showing exactly where the self-love can come in. I'm feeling a very solitary pursuit here, regardless. So the feminines may not be desiring to have a solitary pursuit, but in this energy, it is a real and present conscious awareness of the reality right now. And it's supporting a certain spiritual understanding at this time of self and of self-love. Okay. What are the feminines feeling on the heart space? Bravery to end suffering. Ten of Swords is the existential crisis, and the Seven of Wands is lighting one's own path through the dark night, through the tunnel, going through to the other side, the portal. Literally the Lionsgate portal. So set the intentions, divine feminines, just as I see you're doing here, to release the heartache, release the mental anguish, release the burden, the left for dead, the victimization, the shooting yourself in the foot, bleeding out, all of that gnarly energy. Bravely release that. I'm actually feeling to pull a card of support for the feminines who are desiring to set the Lionsgate portal to release that once and for all. What can we see for the feminines who are detaching and releasing and letting go on this journey of the pain? Wanting to just be finally done with the pain of missing the masculine. Okay, so we get thriving going forward. So simply set the intention here, divine feminines, to thrive going forward, no matter what that looks like, and be open to what that is coming in for you. As soon as you say you desire this with your whole heart, and you actually say, I release this anguish and I accept thriving going forward, that sets a whole chain reaction on the conscious, subconscious level of your programming, and it rolls out. Things just fall into place. You can believe it so deeply that you just say, I am ready to thrive going forward, and then do you, and just watch. You'll have these pings as things unfold that it was from that intention with your whole heart that was the origin of these blessings coming in, because you chose that. So set those intentions, feminines. A lot of solitary, I'm hearing forced solitude in these connections. It may not be that forced, feminines, but yes, your masculine is possibly not showing up in a way that you may have hoped at this point, and so there is this total release to be free to allow thriving into your life. So any masculines watching, your feminine really does feel quite disconnected from the connection, because you might not be communicating in a way that is landing on the deepest levels if you are in communication. And this is designed to bring the feminines into understanding their own preference, is what I'm getting. So what is the wish for the divine feminines at this time? Seeing through the confusion, seeing through the fear. 2 cards of clearing the way here. 7 of Cups is the daydreaming, the so many options, but in the reverse it highlights the 1 cup of unconditional love. And then the 2 of Swords is going deeply within to decide what is the loving path forward. It can also, with Swords, be cutting away things that are no longer serving. In the reverse, I always think of this card as having made the loving choice. The loving choice as best as the feminines can at this time to cut out the delusions I just heard of anything that's not actually practically showing up in the feminine's reality right now, and love themselves right there where they're at with what they have to work with in this moment. That's what I'm seeing here. So divine feminines are making the best of and seeing the love in what is. How exquisite. And that is the heart wish here. That is the perfect building block, the perfect practical building block to have energetic unfolding from a new foundation. I know we focus a lot on the divine masculine, but we have that attribute within us. So if you have been watching readings for a person divine masculine, just remember that you also have that attribute within, and whatever aspects are happening for the divine feminine, if you're a divine masculine, those are growing and budding within. So I see decisiveness here. I see conviction. I see practicality, grounded feminines being able to work with what they've got and not being so airy-fairy, lost in impractical wishful thinking, for instance. Okay, what actions are the feminines taking? 6 of Wands in the reverse and the Empress in the reverse. So this is public victory, and I sometimes get asked, what does that mean, public victory? So that is when others can see that you are, it can be egoic, like boasting, but it can also just be common knowledge, things that others can see as milestones you've hit, recognition. This is sometimes referred to as like the community around you understanding that you've committed to your person and everybody knows you're a couple, that kind of a thing. So victory here, you are making victory for your own abundance. When I get cards in the reverse, I tend to read them as an internalization. So the Empress is abundance. It's the Queen of all queens. It's all the attributes of the queens being embodied. And so this is not for show. The feminines, you are really coming into seeing yourself this way and not needing external approval. That's another one of those things we often talk about the masculines going through, but here it is for the feminines. So you are no longer needing that external acknowledgement, let's say, of this connection, of your successes, and that is really going to streamline your thriving going forward, because even if you're the only person on earth, you and the divine, that know what you're up to and how you're striding through all of the accomplishments and the milestones you're making, this is part of the journey right now, is you recognizing your abundance and having a grateful heart for your life and your personality and your choices and who you are as a person, divine feminine. So those are the beautiful actions the feminines are taking right now, is really seeing ourselves that way. What is the biggest challenge for the divine feminines? Passionate new beginning and the Queen of Swords. So this is the most phallic card, and this is a sensual new beginning. It is an inspired new beginning, and this Queen of Swords really is developing the highest impeccable standards. I almost posted on social media, only the pure of heart may pass or shall pass. And that seemed to be the message today of the Queen of Swords, that if you want to be what is that, a song? If you want to be my lover? Anyways, so this is talking about that, setting the boundaries that beautiful divine feminines, our standards have raised. We are pure of heart. We only want those who match that. We will only be receptive to that on the deepest levels. And that is a problem. That is a bit of a problem, because we have seen our divine masculines as a archetype of that, and in many cases they have shown us their humanity, and we are not in full union. We're watching our divine masculines being human to the 10th degree right now in many cases, and there is this knowledge, well, now what? Divine masculines are being human so completely right now. And this is also saying, if a soulmate comes in, divine feminines are open to this purity, reciprocation, genuine connection, but there is a whole higher standard, and there are very few options. When you get into this, been there, done that, all seeing, all perceiving, understanding your worth, knowing it clearly, where do you get this passion, this true connection? It just doesn't grow on trees. The consciousness. Okay, what is the spirit-guided solution for that? The Hierophant, which is the High Priest, and the Three of Swords, which is third party. So feminines, you know, when we're in a developmental stage with other energies and multiple people, this message is, no, it's not preaching, but with the Pope, with the High Priest here, it borderlines on that. It's like, just hold the purity, hold the standard that third energies and heartbreak and things that you settle for and things that you accept even against your better judgment lead to heartache. So just, you know, hold the resolve to be you. You've worked hard for this. You have gone through many battles. You've fought the good fight to get here, and there's going to be some affirmation. This is the key. And, you know, energetically, it's ironic. It's a paradox, but those who go through these struggles and these lessons receive this key. They receive the energetic attainment of that frequency of overcoming heartache, of overcoming the struggle. And when we're conscious of having reached that type of a high standard, it can feel like it's a trick, that it's ironic that we've gone through all of that to get there, and then we're still alone. We haven't just received that divine love reciprocation in the fullest yet. But this is saying, hold on, something is coming. You will see the answer to this. You will see the solution, the progress, the indication that you have attained this level of purity, and it will be given to you in time. There is this sense of needing it to climatize. So at least for this Lionsgate portal, divine feminines, don't waver in your understanding of your purity and what you're worth. And utilize a glad heart right now that you don't want to go back to any substandard exploration of heartache. You don't want to backslide. Once you know what you now know, divine feminines, you can't go back. So celebrate that and hold your own right now, because it might feel confusing, because we all have to go through these portals alone, is what the divine is saying. So you will meet your person on the other side, I'm hearing. But right now, this is a solitary pursuit. That Seven of Wands is you holding your torch, your spiritual connection, your purity, your conviction, your heart-centered, mind, body, heart-aligned truth of what you are worth. You don't want to go back here. So don't fall into the temptation through this portal of wishing to settle for something. Stay strong in character. If things have fallen away for you in this few days, period of time, don't lament, I'm hearing. Just release. Whatever wasn't meant for you mysteriously disappeared right now. So for some, possible soulmates, possible soulmate meetups, those kinds of things may have fallen through. Just take that as divine intervention, and, you know, this motion through. Beautiful divine feminines. Where is the energy going from the divine feminine side? Wow, cleaning up some more remaining karma, making these karmic choices, making these choices that do not promote additional karma. No backsliding. Feminines, I'm really getting sure footing here, and it's leading towards reunion. So it is an energetic test of sorts right now, feminines, to let go of anything that is not pure. Only the pure of heart shall pass. And so really sink into that right now, divine feminines, because you're bringing in true connection and eliminating the heartache, eliminating this karmic struggle where there are too many inconvenient backlash energies coming back in. You have desired to simplify your life, I'm hearing, divine feminines, and this is the way that you get into that zone where those roadblocks and shock and awe, surprise energies that seem to ambush you are no longer going to be magnetized into your sphere of influence, because you're understanding it's not worth it. The karma is not worth the temporary choices, the instant gratification options. Hold the light, feminines. Blessings await, I'm hearing. Okay, let's dive into the masculine reading now and see what we can get for the divine masculines on this Lionsgate portal. What are the masculines thinking of the connection? What are the masculines feeling on the heart space for their divine feminine? I'm shuffling the clarifiers first, saying that out loud so the universe knows, because I never do that. And here are the main cards. Thank you, Divine Creator, for bringing through exactly what the divine masculines are thinking on this Lionsgate portal. What are the divine masculines feeling on the heart space for their divine feminine? What are the wishes at this time? Actions being taken, challenges and solutions, and where's the energy going? Okay, transformation with the Queen of Wands in the reverse. So this is the death rebirth energy. Masculines are really looking forward to a rebirth. Divine feminine energy is this Queen of Wands. In this deck, she seems to have one up on the masculine. It's in the reverse. So I'm really clearly getting that divine masculines have had an ego battle. You know, that whole projection, or I'm not worthy, projecting some of their own non-committal or struggles onto the feminine, making the feminine either on a pedestal or not the best option at different points in the journey. That runner idea that would create a mythology around the feminine that negates the person. Whatever trick of the ego to make the feminine too good or not good enough, whatever back and forth the masculines have had, there's a transformation that the masculines are truly trying to figure out. Why is this one weird person, why did they do that to me? Why do I continuously need to put a classification that is not equal on this particular person? Masculines are transforming that. How interesting. The masculines want to see you as someone familiar, approachable, accessible, equal. I believe this is seeing the masculines coming into an idea that you are them, that they can't just put you as too different in whatever way, that whichever way they work the puzzle, it's never satisfying. The intrigue is still there, and it's because you are them, and they can't sidestep it or do that juggling with how they assess the connection anymore. There's a transformation, a major rebirth of how they're looking at you after all this time, divine feminine. Wow. Okay, what on the heart space? Oh, 2 wanted to come out. So reciprocity and the devil. This devil card just kind of magnetically stuck to this card and swooped across my table, and the hermit in reverse. Wow. So divine masculines are really reaching out on the heart level to feel into what would be appropriate, what is illusion, wanting to get past that, wanting to see where things can balance out, knowing they have to come out of hermit mode. The hermit holds the destined path. And there is a gate here, and I heard gatekeeper. The masculines know that they have been gatekeeping this progress. They are understanding that they have been, it's almost like this door, this sidestepping motion, it's almost like every time the connection could go through this door, they have been moving the door this way or that and saying, oops, sorry, no, too slow. Or something like that. And so they're looking at this illusion, the illusory nature of how they've sidestepped this connection and not offered. They've been making it you, divine feminine. I don't like saying that, but they have. That's been more easily within their control than seeing the accountability that it takes to actually keep the door there and open it. You know, if the door keeps moving, you can't really open it. And even if it's open, it's not in the same predictable place there. So nobody can go through it anyways. And I just heard revolving door. So for those whose masculines have had a revolving door with other relationships and all of that, this is also being seen through as an illusion and an inability from their side of the energy to be consistent enough to just walk through a door, to choose a door and commit to it. I'm seeing the Price is Right, and choosing which door is wanting to be risked. Wow. I just heard the masculines chose the wrong door. I'm still seeing the Price is Right. Anyways, they now see that they chose the wrong door and it did not lead to balance. And so they're really taking a good look at that and noticing that you have always been that second guessing energy, divine feminine, and they're wanting to figure out why you of all people have triggered that in them. It's quite heady, it's quite back and forth right now. I'm seeing the funniest analogies, like slime, the goo that you play with, and it kind of doesn't have an opinion, it just conforms to whatever is around it. The masculines are understanding that by not having an opinion, they have been having an opinion. They've been having a non-committal opinion. Where they thought they were being open and free, it was actually a very stubborn reality they were adhering to. Woo! Okay, so what is the wish? Oh, to recognize this wounded warrior energy and take accountability. 8 and 9 of Wands, we're getting into the energetics of things. They're seeing that their karmic paths, their life lessons, jaded energy, they're seeing they've been fearful, that they have been not wanting to take on more. I'm really getting the message right now that they haven't wanted to heap more karmic struggle onto their plates, but these divine connections are the opposite of karma, divine masculines. So while you're wishing to keep your life simple and not put on more karma, your non-committal sidestepping and second guessing and ego battles have literally been exhausting